No, I've
It's
said
about to turn into Wanda Maximoff Apologia Hour.
Whoa. Who's apologizing to what? Whoa.
The two people that absolutely love the gun-wielding maniacs going off about someone murdering someone, maybe?
So here's the thing, okay?
It's self-defense with the gun.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's
my right as a human being.
Right, yeah. So, okay, so I want to start this off because
I wasn't quick enough on the draw to play the Alex Jones clip.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to make everybody watch the whole thing. Don't worry.
I just want to say, I gave you a couple of days to put Nick's scream over that video.
I didn't have time, Mitch.
We got a deep fake
You
in
had
there.
the weekend to do it, Jared.
I'm about to take my shirt off, take some vitamins, and start screaming into the microphone.
That's why Ermine is so swole. He just has like so much brain force plus coursing through his veins.
Okay,
super male vitality.
I did have a thought the second time watching this film where I knew what was coming, where it dawned on me that I completely looked at Wanda like a complete freaking jabroni moron. Like that was I completely missed it. So here's what happened. I completely escaped I don't know how this entered my brain and left while everything else remained in here. Somehow my brain
much like Black Bolt.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, just because, the dark hold is influencing Wanda, and it's taking her emotion, and it's making her do irrational things. Therefore, she's not really the Scarlet Witch because everything's heightened. When that clicked with me, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay. Wanda's not the villain. The Scarlet Witch is the villain, and the influence made her do it." And then I was like, how did this take me this? I'm a moron. So it kind of just all clicked. So now I know what happened.
What did you think happened in the first viewing when you first watched it? Because the first 10 minutes of this movie are
I thought you went fucking crazy.
I think I was just still, honestly, I don't know.
You wanted to bully me, didn't you? That's what it was.
Pretty much, yeah. I think so. Like I was like dead set. But like I understand it now. Like I went back and quickly I've been rewatching WandaVision while I'm just like doing cardio and stuff. I'm like, man, okay, I see the progression, and obviously you tie back to Age of Ultron and you see the character arc in Civil War. You're like, yeah, okay. So Scarlet Witch, Wanda, the difference is quite obvious. So I really love what they did with her, and obviously at the end it's like, oh, she's gone, but she's gonna be back, and I can't wait to see what they do with her because I love the character arc. Probably like one of the best in the MCU so far, honestly. Like her entire arc has been just stellar. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
I did not pay him to say that.
Let's say, where's the sniper, man? Where's the sniper?
Hey Mitch, what's with all this money that you added to my bank account, huh?
Oh, that's fake. That's fine.
He's in England. They don't have access to military weapons there.
We have one of the biggest militaries on the planet. I thank you very much.
I'm saying that regular citizens can't pick up like a planet killer on a whim.
Oh no, that's fair. Yeah. Too fair, they're all in Ukraine in the minute.
What mouth, Armin? Where'd he go?
What did you do, Mitch?
I didn't, he got shunned. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anybody. Going off of what Armin was saying, though, I'm gonna make a Star Wars comparison because it's the easiest route to go for the most part.
I've been doing the same thing.
When you look at characters like Darth Vader or Kylo Ren, George Lucas used to talk about how like the dark side's kind of like a drug. And the more you use it and the more you rely on it, the more it truly consumes you and starts to taint your soul. And some of the greatest victims of the dark side of the Force were people who didn't know what they were getting into, i.e. a Ben Solo. That's not a latitude I would ever give Anakin. He knew full well what was going on there. But in Wanda's case, I don't think she knew the gravity of what she had at her fingertips with the Darkhold.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, she
again,
just found out she was a witch, right? Like a year ago.
exactly. She barely even realized like the nature of her powers. Lost power. She barely even knew the extent of her powers. So now she has this book of spells that she does not realize is corrupting her mind. You know, like I would even take a step further from what Armin was saying. I wouldn't even say that Wanda isn't the villain, the Scarlet Witch is. I would take it a step further and say Scarlet Witch isn't the villain, the Darkhold is.
Castone is, because they officially say his name.
Yeah, I mean, you're technically right. But since we don't like actually see Cthon like in the flesh, like for real, I'm just leaning on saying it's the Darkhold that is corrupting her. You know, because like one of my big things is like let's say WandaVision ends without Wanda obtaining the Darkhold. Because, and again, and Mitch and I are on the same page here, and anyone who doesn't agree, I am very excited to discuss it with you. And, Paco, for someone who is being corrupted by the Darkhold, she seems to be fully aware of what she is doing.
But
to that, I say, let's look at WandaVision, where once she is made aware of the effect she's having on Westview, where she sees all these people like begging to be killed, lest they continue living in this sitcom purgatory. She goes, "Oh my God, I thought we were all cool," and then releases them, and then makes the decision to let go of Vision, Billy, and Tommy for the greater good. And I think that and again, like when people keep talking about like, oh, like this disregards Wanda's arc from WandaVision. No, WandaVision set Wanda's precedent that when she realized she was doing harm to other people to get the thing back that she wanted, she immediately, no, I'm so sorry, no, because she didn't understand what she was doing. I think it is made kind of clear, especially when you go back and watch the post-credit from WandaVision now.
Yeah.
Where you're watching her first dream walk.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Or at least trying to find the universe, at least.
Yeah.
It's the same effect.
And you hear at the very end that, like, Mom from Billy and Tommy. Like, she found them somewhere for the first time. She's dream walking. Like, I don't think she gets it. And I think that by the time we see Wanda, when she's in her, like, hellscape orchard, when we see her first in the movie, like, at that point, like, Wanda's on sabbatical, honey. Like, that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at with her. In the same way that, like, in the comics, whenever everybody made the decision that, like, we were just going to officially redeem Eddie Brock, where he got the defense of, I didn't do that, Venom did that.
Yeah,
it was the symbiote. I wasn't fucking eating people.
That's a little different.
I was very against the eating people thing. I think if you'll go into the multiverse and pluck a Wanda who doesn't end up with the Darkhold at the end of WandaVision, and pluck the Wanda from this movie, Wanda who doesn't get the Darkhold is going to vomit when she sees what this Wanda did. Because again, I don't think Wanda is piloting at that point. I think it is someone whose mind and spirit and soul has been completely corrupted, and it required such a transcendental event as being locked in a room with her children and when I say better, I mean a not corrupted by the Darkhold version of herself. That it took that to snap her out of it. I don't think Wanda is control. And anybody saying, I sincerely mean this, anybody saying that Wanda is in the wrong, like she's actively the villain trying to hurt people gleefully, anyone that is saying that this is walking back her character arc, anybody saying that this is a vilification of, a woman dealing with insurmountable grief, I don't know what movie you watched, because it wasn't the one I've seen, where I feel like it's kind of abundantly clear that she is not in control. I've been talking for a minute, and I can see that Nick has a rebuttal in the chamber. So,
Well, after seeing it the second time,
Mitch,
I do agree with Armin. That's when I was realized, okay, yeah, Scarlet Witch is the villain. It's not Wanda, so there you go, Mitch. Anyway.
Yeah, but I don't believe that for a second.
Okay.
I don't believe that for a second.
I could say their name to make it all better, but no, I'm trying to save it. Anyway.
No, do it right now. Go on.
No,
save it for the right time.
Save it. Just save it, bro.
But yeah, like after watching it, and like now I'll be honest, like a lot of scenes like where Wanda was like really trying like really hard to just like get with her kids, like I get like there were like I did cry, and I did tear up, because like even after like rewatching WandaVision and seeing her story and her journey, it's like she really does just want to like be with her kids, and then like even when Wanda says, well, can't like you just be happy that there's a version of you with her kids, and she's just said no and just chucked them off the cliff, like that sounds like, okay, that's not Wanda, that's the Scarlet Witch, maybe the Darkhold talking, that's not Wanda. And at the end of the movie, where she sees, this her other where she sees Wanda and she realized like what she has done, that's when the Darkhold isn't taking control and she's not Scarlet Witch and she's Wanda again. That's when I'm like, okay, you know what, I get it now. I understand. Mitch was right all along. That should probably be a t-shirt. Mitch was right. Kind of like the Thanos was right mug.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and I do want to say, and I'm going to shut up, and I'm actually going to give Mitch the floor here, because I know Mitch is more invested in this character than I am. I have sustained psychic damage from some of the dog shit takes I've seen on the internet in the past 4 days. And that's the thing. No, you're good, man. I don't.
Sorry.
I misunderstood you. No, keep going, Nick. I apologize.
No, like, go back to what you said about the dog shit takes. Like, I saw one how they said, "Oh, Wanda was underpowered in this movie," and then the same person was all like, "Oh, but she overpowered the Illuminati." I'm like, well, what is it? Like, you're saying she was underpowered, and then yet you say that she was overpowered.
Yeah, those are the kinds of takes that are just never going to be consistent with themselves.
I got like one thing about the art, like when you said, like how you put it, it was perfect. How you said it. One thing that about the Wanda art and how y'all said like the Scarlet Witch was taking control. It gave me hope. It gives me hope that maybe 10 years, 12 years, when we get another perfect version of Dark Phoenix and how they could do Jean Grey just like that.
I will give it 15.
15. But yeah, to see that the Darkhold and Scarlet Witch is really what's controlling and influence her to do all this stuff, and I'm saying like they're gonna do that with Dark Phoenix with Jean Grey. The Dark Phoenix is what's controlling her and all that. But yeah, I like that art, probably the best art in the MCU.
this is a better Dark Phoenix arc than both Dark Phoenix movies. So
Yes.
I mean, in fairness, they have made Wanda very much like Jean Grey in the MCU,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
even down to the hair.
Yeah, truly, you're not wrong. I will say this much, and again, I want to go back to Yuri's comment here. I can defend that part, not all of it, though. And again, that's where it turns into, like, I think Frank is defending Wanda inherently misses the fucking point. And again, like, and maybe I'm putting too much weight onto this, but this is just one of those like Luke's character was ruined in The Last Jedi type critiques. That's like, what movie did you fucking watch?
Mm-hmm.
Where I just want to put my head through a wall. Like, again, it's not a matter of defending Wanda. It's a matter of recognizing that, like, this eldritch book of the damned is designed to turn good men cruel. That was for Nick.
I didn't notice that, and then I heard it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that one movie."
little BVS reference there. But like that's what it exists to do, is corrupt people. Again, it's like the dark side. Hurt people. Like, it's not like you just get to a point.
Just to jump in there quickly, it's really interesting that we've had literally Moon Knight just happen, where you have an actual god taking advantage of someone whose mental state is very much in a fragile place. There's not a word for what Mark and Steven and Jake do. Yet over here, not that I'm saying that anyone's sexist or misogynist or anything. I'm not even gonna jump on that wagon. But I just find it interesting that you have these obvious parallels with different characters, and yet it's fine for one but not the other. How many people have the Avengers murdered? Like, just straight up.
I mean,
Tony Stark has killed thousands of people.
Spider-Man has.
Captain America has killed thousands of people. And then.
Well, I think the difference there is, and again, this is where a lack of critical reading and understanding of story comes into play. Those are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, you want to get real granular.
It's like the Illuminati's not a good group of people. The movie out.
No, that's the point.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always
questionable.
Because a lot of how I defend Wanda is very much a bit, just to get that. Yeah. It's very much a bit. It's not that serious. It's nice. But a lot of it's true.
I don't believe it.
Well, as I just said, most of it's true, but some of it's a bit. I got him before you.
Wait a minute.
Now you made me lose where I was going.
See, now you're just stealing shit that I'm saying. I said it, but no. Oh, I see what you tried to do.
Am I a bit within a bit right now? It's just what's happened.
I will say, for me, I was stunned coming out of WandaVision at the amount of people saying that Wanda was a monster at the end of that show. And I sincerely know what to expect from this movie, because part of me was like, oh, Scarlet Witch villain arc? Sure. Like, I think it would be very interesting if Wanda got drunk on, like, if the arc they went with for her was Wanda Maximoff gets drunk on power now that she knows what she's capable of, and like Icarus flies directly into the sun, metaphorically, of course, in this case, that would be one thing. At that point, yeah, sure, Wanda's the villain, no matter what she's doing. At its core, I think she is still incredibly sympathetic and incredibly complex. If it's still revolving around her wanting to take agency back in her life, because so often her entire arc is built around, I have a good thing, and then some outside force fucking steals it from me. living with her family in Sokovia. Civil War breaks out. Her shit gets bombed to high heaven.
And
her and her brother have a. Sorry, Mitch.
No, I was just adding to it. Like, no one helps her.
Yeah.
After every single bit, she is left to her own devices.
Exactly.
And now she has the power to stop, to make things right. So I won't blame her. She got the power. You got the power to make your own. Like, go ahead.
Exactly. It's the same logic of like the amount of people I know who like when it comes to Anakin Skywalker, who again I'm not going to name names, but there's certain people who make content in the nerd space who do a super shitty job at explaining this shit and has a super consistent tendency to put all of the onus on Anakin Skywalker's villain arc on every other person but Anakin Skywalker. But Wanda's the villain. Anyway, Matt, I'd love to
who
have
could
you
it be?
on the show, buddy.
I'm not sure.
I say, who are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
I feel like I missed
he's a really good lawyer, Mitch. Don't worry. No, but like
someone that Amber Heard does not have.
Oh wow.
Topical. That's its own clusterfuck. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's a live stream reviewing a movie, so it's already dated. So why not? But like every time Wanda has a good thing going, someone she loves is ripped away from her, or the situation itself is ripped away from her. And again, just because a character is your favorite, or they are standout because they're a new like whatever medium you're used to does not have good enough representation. Again, superhero movies, we're finally getting to some amount of equilibrium that is not women in leather with their boobies just pushed into the camera doing nothing but screaming for help. We've finally moved past that to a point. And I will say, I understand and will acknowledge a lot of arguments and naysayers who call attention to the fact that a lot of the arcs we get for a lot of these women in these cape flicks revolves around deep trauma. And in the same way that whenever Black Panther was coming out, and people were like, what do you mean the first ever black superhero? What about Blade? To which I think a lot of
Shaq
people...
is Steel.
Well, about Shaq is Steel, yeah. And to which I think a lot of, myself included, people would go, yeah, Blade is an anti-hero who hunts vampires in horror comics. There's a darkness to Blade. There's a scariness to Blade. Black Panther is a fucking superhero.
What about Luke Cage?
In live action. Again, that's where you get into the whole, like, is it for kids element.
Okay.
Personally, my little sister, she's 10. She loves superheroes. You know what I'm not showing her? Jessica Jones and Luke Cage breaking a bed super fucking.
Well, it's not just a bed. It's also a wall.
Prove his point even more.
Nick, you're my guy, man.
Maybe I'll walk out of here tomorrow and you never see me again. That's really what I want to do.
I love the fact that you have that on button. Like, just on standby. I'm saying I love the fact that you have that on standby.
Oh, man, I have so many clips at this point. I have more clips than I know what to do with. This bitch. Anyway, not directed at anyone in particular. I'm just going to be super vague about that. I'm done with that bit now. But yeah, it's the same thing here, and I understand the give us representation of women whose whole thing is not everything consistently gets taken away from me. And I get that. I completely acknowledge and respect that. But I think that there's a lot of bad faith takes, either saying that Wanda's arc is walked back for the sake of making her a villain. And a lot of people who have always thought Wanda is a villain, regardless, who are just diarrhea of the mouth and diarrhea of the Twitter fingers on parade. And again, I was not super invested in Wanda until WandaVision. And then I fell in love with her character. And then I enjoyed and I loved her every time I rewatched Age of Ultron or rewatched Civil War. And then I came out of this movie liking Wanda infinitesimally more than I liked her coming out of WandaVision because she is so complex. And again, to make that Star Wars comparison again, and then I'll stop. And at any point, one of y'all interrupt me because I've been waxing poetic for forever. To make that Star Wars comparison again, you go back to Darth Vader, that moment of fucking clarity that leads to Anakin throwing off the Vader persona to save Luke. You know, those moments of doubt that slowly start to creep in, starting from the conversation when he gets on the elevator. You know, I know the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. You know, that moment where Vader stares into the forest. You know, I think there's a similar moment with that with Wanda here. Where like that first moment where Billy and Tommy shriek, that 838 Billy and Tommy shriek upon seeing her. We're like, I think that's the moment where she begins to have the aha moment.
But there's also a moment before. I can't remember if it was Stranger, if it was America, or if it was someone else. They said like, and what would like your kids think? Like, what happens to that Wanda? And she doesn't say.
It was strange.
Was it Strange?
It was Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whenever
was it right
they
the movie or
jump through the portal with America, leaving
of course it was. Yeah. And like, she doesn't say a damn word, mate. And you can see it slowly turning, but with manipulation, you're not really in your right frame of mind, especially someone who is as broken as Wanda is.
Exactly. I gotta hijack that for a second. I apologize. I just I've had a lot of thoughts about this character that I needed to get out there.
There's a fundamental misunderstanding of what manipulation actually is and how it affects someone. Because everyone's going, well, but our kids aren't real. It's like, no, it doesn't matter if they weren't real. They were real to her, and the time she spent with them was real to her. Yeah. That's all that actually matters.
Yeah.
No, think about
nothing else in the world matters at that point.
If you like what you saw there, be sure to subscribe, stick around, and check out entire episodes of the Nerd Academy podcast, Knights of the Nerd Republic, the #1 contender, TNAP Movie Club, all of our podcasts here. If you're a nerd, we got something for you. We cover the movie trivia Schmodown. We cover Star Wars. We cover Marvel, DC, movies in general. If you're looking for it, we got it. We'd love to have you. So yeah, class dismissed.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar.